So moving on to game two, I mean, there was obviously positives and negatives coming after the first game. What's the biggest jump from game one to game two? What's the biggest thing to keep an eye on?
I know that we've been working on our guards, just stepping up on screens, just guards defensively, how they need to play the screens, and how people, we noticed last game that the team iced us a lot on offense, so we have to know how to adjust to that, because teams will begin to ice us on screens.
When you think of the picture of you guys after that first game, what you guys will look like, February, how much difference do you think there'll be from then until then?
It'll be a big difference, just with the style of play from non-conference to conference play. It's a more physical type of play coming into going into conference, and just building chemistry throughout the team, and getting the new girls adjusted, and just people getting their minutes under their belt to help with confidence and just building team chemistry.
It's all part of the process, right? I mean, before you can take that next step, you have to take the one in front of it. Kind of talk about that process a little bit. Is it a fun thing to go through year after year? Is it a necessary thing that that a team has to go through?
Definitely. I mean, it's fun, and it's a necessity for every team. Just building just one step at a time, especially with new girls, a young team. You still have to get that discipline going within our system, and just making sure that when we do it in practice, our coaches are down our back to telling us to do it in practice, but we apply it to our games. So I think that's the biggest thing when you have a group of young girls. So you just have to take it step by step.
Did it feel like 18 rebounds the other night?
No, not. I mean, I guess the first half it kind of felt like I had a lot of rebounds, but I didn't notice it by the end of the game. But I mean, that's one of the roles on my team, is to go out there and rebound, and I'm willing to do anything to help my team win.
How much of a learning curve is there still for some of the newcomers? You mentioned that it is a process.
Yeah, it'll be probably the whole non-conference. You just learn game by game when we go over and watch film, just to see the things that you're doing wrong, and the things that you're doing good, and it helps you build off of that and correct those mistakes that you probably made in the last game, and just continue to get better on the things that you've been doing.
How important is this opening week, these 3 games, before you head down to Savannah, where you know that there's going to be some tougher teams that are waiting?
It'll just get us going up and down, get us a little feeling of playing against different people and different styles of play. Because definitely we'll go down there and we'll play three days in a row. So it'll be good for us to help build our wind up going down there.
I'm just kind of curious. I mean, everyone gets to see how fiery and intense Coach Carey is during the game, and during practices. In the film room, what's he like? Kind of off the court. What's he like in that film room when you guys are breaking down the previous game, and what's he like in those situations?
It's definitely a learning experience. It's similar to on the court, especially when we see the mistakes that we did in the game. So it's really just a learning experience, and he's explained to us how if we made mistakes, then in what ways we can fix it and adjust, and how we will play it for future teams or just anything like that. It's just really a learning experience in the film room.
Does he still yell? I mean, that's a smaller room, so it's probably a little bit louder in there, right?
He gets fired up some, just because it's only natural when you see the mistakes, and actually it kind of looks bad on film when you actually see your mistakes, and it's you're kind of tense, and you're I deserve to get yelled at for that
it's coming, right?
Yeah.
you duck your head when you know it's coming?
No, everybo's pretty up.
Down to the seat.
Yeah, everybody pretty much sits up, and it's kind of noticeable, and almost you know it in a game. Sometimes I remember I made that mistake in the game, and then it's coming up, and you're really tense, and you're about to get chewed out. But it's definitely a learning experience, and it just helps us get better.
Good deal. Thank you, Lanay.
Thank you.